Hey guys, what's up? What we're going to be talking about today is centered around logo design. How do you charge more? How to work with people off-site. And we've got a whole bunch of people in the room right now in the live stream. If you guys want to join us, we will include the link in the description notes, I believe, or Otto can take care of that. Got a couple new people on the team today. And of course, it's been wild to just get us here. But let's get the show on the road. This is Raw. All right, we're back. Okay, we got a bunch of people in the room. I think we're gonna go in with your questions, and we're gonna do a little role play when appropriate. So I think James, you are up first. So let's jump into the room and let's hear what James has to say. Everybody else, hit mute. James, turn on your mic. Let's rock and roll.
I can't see the Facebook.
James? Nope, not Sharif. James? Where's James? Did James leave? All right, James, I'm going to give you 5 more seconds, and we're moving on to the next person.
We just pressed my channel.
All right. Gurpreet, why don't you go? You're number 2.
Hi, Chris. So I'm from West London, UK, and my question is, how do I leave this current networking organization that I'm in at the moment whilst being able to sustain my business? Because it currently feels like a second job. Is eating up more time than I'd like, and the organization is saying not to leave as they feel that is the be-all and end-all to sustain a business.
Hold on 1 second. I have to tell my team to shut the F up. I can hear you guys. I can't concentrate. Okay, can you guys mute your mics or something? Come on. I can't listen to 2 people at the same time. All right. Sorry. Okay, let me get the details right. You're in a networking organization. I don't really know exactly what that means. So can you tell me a little bit more about what that is?
So basically, it's basically groups of networking groups around the world. You pay a membership fee and you attend every week. And you have to do like a 60-second pitch, go there, pitch, and it's basically passing referrals within that group, passing work. And yeah, it's basically a weekly thing, but there's so much more involved within that group.
Okay, how much do you pay to be part of the group?
Well, this is my second year, but initially the fee was about £700.
Is that the annual fee, £700?
Yes.
All right, I need to write that down. And why do you want to leave it?
Well, the first year was really good and I've got a contract out of it, but now my role has gone to being, so you have like 3 people that chair the meeting, and I'm basically one of the people that chairs the meeting every week. It's just basically starting to grate on myself and my business. I've started to put my business aside.
I see.
And concentrate more on the networking.
I see. So it worked out well for you the first year, and now you're kind of in an administrative role or something like that, and it's taken away the time that you need to spend to work on your business, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what's stopping you from leaving? What are you concerned about?
Well, it's the organization or the people within the organization, and I'd say a couple of friends that are saying not to leave because they feel that that's my main source of income, so to speak, but it's actually not.
Okay. So you're saying that your friends are saying that it's going to have a negative impact on your business if you leave, but you are telling me right now it's not going to have any impact on your business. So I don't understand what's the struggle? Why are you struggling with this decision?
I guess it's because I've just renewed, so I've put money up front for the next year.
Okay.
And obviously I've taken a bigger and a more prominent role within the group. And I'm just finding it hard to leave, I guess. I don't know, I guess I'm scared. Thinking what's going to happen if I do leave.
Okay, this might be one of those classic situations where you write down the things that you're afraid of that's going to happen and what you have to gain. It's a risk reward thing, okay? So let me go through it with you right now in my mind, okay? If you stay, what do you get? What do you get if you stay besides recouping the money you've already spent?
recognition.
By who?
The people in the group and their contacts.
And what value does that have to you, that recognition?
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
You see that? So like, as I just listened to you talk about it, I think there's one thing, right? Look, if I spent money on something, I feel like I want to get the most out of it. But if I'm not going to get anything more out of it and there's no way I can get a refund, then I'm just going to have to cut my losses. You know, I just have to say, okay, I made a decision. I'm going to move on. It's just money. I'm going to go make more money somewhere else. And right now, the thing that you need the most of is your time. You need to be able to focus on your business. So it seems to me like it would be best for you just to leave.
Yeah.
They're not helping you generate any more business, and you're putting more time in to get no more new business, and you've already spent the money. So unless there's a way for you to get a refund, I just don't know why you would stay anymore.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. A couple of people have said that to me as well, and I think I need to just bite the bullet and just and do that.
Yeah, you bit the bullet. Now you have to lick your wounds. You've already spent the money, right? So just go. Look, how much time are you spending a week on this?
I'd say at least 2 days.
2 days a week on this networking group?
Yeah.
So 2 days is 16 hours, right? So 16 hours where you could be productive.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. What do you think your time's worth? Like an hour. Like, what's your hourly rate? What do you think you could charge?
Hourly rate at the moment is £50.
£50. Okay, that's going to be a number. My math is not going to help me out here. So 50 times 16, it's a lot. So that's like 90, no, 80. That's 800 pounds.
Yeah.
A week. And you've paid 700 pounds for the year. This is where that term penny wise, pound foolish comes in, right? Where you're trying to recoup and save your 700 pounds, but every single week that you stay in the organization, it's costing you 800 pounds worth of opportunity that you can be out there working on your business. If you multiply that across the year, you are upside down on the worst investment you've ever made.
Wow.
In 1 week. In 1 week, you would recoup your money. And I'll share a story with you guys, okay? To help you put this into context. I get into disputes sometimes with people, and I can get into a long, drawn-out lawsuit. And even though I feel like I'm in the right, where they've wronged me, they've broken the contract, or they've misled me, I will actually pay to get out of the contract because the time in which I spend trying to resolve this is just not worth it. Let's say it's $20,000 that I'm going to pay to get out of this mess. Even though I don't think it's my fault, even though I think the other person should be paying me, I'm going to pay that amount, mostly because I'm going to get tied up for 5 months. I only need to get one client, and one client for an agency like ours is going to be around $200,000. So I'm not going to give up 6 months to save $20K. I'm just going to move on with my life. I hope that helps.
That does. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's go on to Sir Jones. Or is James back? James, are you back? Did something happen to James? Did somebody assassinate James? James? No? Okay. Going once, going twice. Let's go on to Sir Jones. Sir Jones, you're on live. Let's go. Aaron, are we going to cut anytime? Or are you going to cut to the screen or anything? Yeah, you're just too focused on... All right. Let's go. Sir Jones.
What I would like to know is
Wait, Sir Jones. During the pre-show, you know what you got to do? Got to introduce yourself, man.
I am Sir Jones. I am a first-timer, and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Beautiful. What's your question?
My question is, I would like tips, for charging more for a logo. I charge $400 now, and I would like to charge $1,000.
Okay.
So as far as negotiating tips.
Negotiating tips. Okay, maybe we need to do a little role play, but I have a few questions to ask you, okay?
Okay.
All right, so you're charging $400 now, and how long have you been able to charge $400 for a logo?
I recently revamped my prices probably about a couple of months ago.
So how many clients have you been able to sell a $400 logo to?
Three.
3. Okay. That's not bad. And when you do this, do the clients feel really satisfied? Are they happy to pay you and the work that they get from you?
Yes. One of my clients, they do a lot of um, they create a lot of different other businesses,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like an enterprise, and they have other different things, and I do all of their logos.
Beautiful. Okay. So what's stopping you from talking to the next client and asking them for 800?
Fear
What are you afraid of?
of losing their job. I'm more confident in being able to talk to them and know that they'll be comfortable and I'll be comfortable with the $400.
Okay, let me ask you something. Can you lose something you never had?
No, you can't.
You can't. So I think we need to change the mentality a little bit here, okay? A lot of people say, I'm going to lose this thing. I'm going to lose this thing. Well, it was never yours. Before that person reached out to you, that person didn't even exist in your world, your reality. So I need you to think about that. In our line of work, we come across clients of all sizes and shapes. And some of them are really big. We're talking about 6-figure, 7-figure engagements. But I know prior to that moment in which they called us or emailed us or reached out to us, I didn't know anything about them. And you kind of have to act like that, okay? There's another thing I want you to think about is if clients aren't saying no to you enough, it means you're charging too little. Since you raised your rates to $400, nobody's saying no. You booked 3 clients. Keep raising the rates until people say no. And then what we're going to do is this. There's a line that I want to share with you. I thought it was particularly poignant, and it was said by Todd McFarlane, the most successful comic book artist of all time in terms of his business, okay? Todd McFarlane, super influential. He said that when he was trying to launch Todd Toys, McFarlane Toys, at Toys R Us, everybody told him you can't charge $6.99. Nobody will pay more than $5.99. You can't charge $1 more. Just $1 more, not doubling the price. And he says, yes, you can. The way that you sell a $6.99 figure is you give somebody $6.99 worth of value or more. Okay, so there's this gap. You're charging $400 today. You got to keep raising your rates until you get the pushback, until you have to find yourself having to level up. As long as the person feels like you're delivering the value or more, they're going to do the deal with you, okay? I don't want to let fear cripple you from trying new things, trying a different typeface, changing your prices, trying a different technique, whatever it is. Try things, and that's how you're going to grow. Your sandbox is going to get bigger and bigger. There's another way we can think about this is in the early days of the world, people were geographically locked to a certain kind of radius from where they were born. And as we got braver and more adventurous, that circle started to expand. And we kind of think about it now, it's kind of silly. Like we can jump on a plane and be anywhere in the world within a few hours, right? You get on a plane, you could be anywhere. And I want you to think of yourself like that. Are you these kind of early settlers of an area? Do you only travel 5 miles away from where you set camp? Or are you willing to go beyond that? And so what we want to do is every single day in every single way, we want to expand that circle, expand your knowledge, expand what it is that you're interested in, your activities and hobbies, your clients, the clientele, different verticals in terms of the markets you want to get into, expand your pricing.
Chris,
Is that
I gotta
okay?
interrupt you 1 second.
Okay, hold on. Don't interrupt me. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't even need to role play, right? You haven't even asked yet. I need you to just get over the hurdle of asking. Like you want to try new foods, you want to date different people, you want to read different kinds of books. That's what you need to do. Now, Aaron, what's up?
We're gonna have to cut the stream and restart it. We're having an issue with Facebook Live. Okay?
Why? Just Facebook Live?
Yeah.
We're still good on YouTube?
Yeah.
Screw Facebook Live. We're fine.
Okay.
I mean, sorry, I don't mean screw Facebook.
Well, we're not on Facebook, so you know.
We're not on
don't
Facebook.
hurt you.
We'll upload this video later to Facebook. It just didn't happen. Let everybody know on Facebook. Go to the YouTube stream. Give them the link. All right, we're gonna keep going, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So Jones, do you have a follow-up question or anything? Are we good?
We're good.
Okay. Otto, do we have any questions from? Okay. Tell me about it.
For the content, what do you recommend with prospects who don't have their budget? Are these people tire kickers?
Okay, let me try to understand this. First of all, Tony, thanks for the super chat donation. I really appreciate it, Tony Lopez. His question is, what do you do with clients that can't afford the project? Is that the question? Didn't you just read the question to me?
Yeah, what do you recommend with prospects who don't know their budget?
Well, who don't know their budget. Oh, okay. All right, for everybody that's tuning in, this happens a lot. People actually do know their budget, and they just don't know that they know it already. So the very simple solution to this problem, Tony, is for you to do price bracketing. Let's figure it out, right? Are we a Neiman Marcus kind of person? Are we a Nordstrom? Are we a Kmart? What are we? How much money do we have? So they're like, I don't know. You're the expert. You tell me. So if I tell you that the logo is going to cost between $3,500 to $5,000, are you okay with that budget? No, oh, that's just too much. Okay, so where are we then? Oh, I have $2,400 to spend. Okay, I think I can work with that. Or, you know what? Let's see what we can do to make sure that you get what you want, but I need to get, $3,500, whatever it is you need to work out. So as soon as you put the number out, people all of a sudden get really wise as to what the real budget is. Okay? So even when people say they don't know what their budget is, they do. They know all the time. You just got to put a number out to feel out the situation. Okay. What's another question? You want to type anything else?
This one.
Okay, here we go. Here's another question coming in. I just want to let the live stream people know on Zoom. Josh, you're up next, and I'll call you in 1 second. Okay, get ready. Here's the question. How do I sell myself as a strong graphic designer when I'm fresh out of school and don't have a lot of professional experience? How do I sell myself? All right. Now, here's the thing. The term strong graphic designer, I just want to break that down a little bit. You can be a strong graphic designer when you're in school, have never been to school, or 50 years out of school. Being related to school in terms of the timeline really doesn't matter. You have to ask yourself, and you have to be really honest, do I have the skills to measure up to the people that I look up to that I would consider a strong graphic designer? And that's up to you to determine who you look up to, okay? And if you don't have a lot of professional experience, I would be very transparent about that. When I'm getting into a new field, I don't try to hide that this is new for me. I just let them know. I'd love to help you out. I think I have some really strong design ideas to help you. I just don't have a ton of print experience or designing brochures. And if you're okay with that, I'd love to work with you. Now, chances are the person's talking to you because they've seen work you've done and they already like the work. So being honest and straightforward, I think is the best medicine for this kind of stuff. Okay. Let's go now to Josh Lopez. Josh, you ready?
Hi, Chris. I'm Josh Lopez from Bend, Oregon. I'm new to working with remote workers. What tips and tricks do you have that I can use in my business?
Okay. What kind of work do you do?
Development.
You're a developer?
Websites.
Okay. Is your background in computer science or are you self-taught?
Self-taught.
Excellent. Okay. So the kinds of remote workers that you want to work with, are they more developers? Or are they creative? What are they?
All developers.
Oh, all developers. How do you get new job leads?
I don't know yet. I'm brand new.
Oh, you're brand new?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't have any new business to speak of?
No.
Okay. Now, why do you feel like you need more developers when you're a developer yourself?
Just in case if I get overwhelmed with work.
Okay. Are there certain areas of expertise that you're not comfortable with just yet, like an e-commerce thing or something like that?
I've been doing Drupal for 8 years, but WordPress is difficult. I haven't used that as much.
Okay, so you're looking for WordPress developers?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Do you know where you can find them?
No, I don't.
All right, so the first thing you need to do, and I'm going to say this to everybody that's in business, whether you're a solopreneur, if you've got a small agency or a really big one, you need to build up that Rolodex, if you will, of people that you can call a database. And what you want to be able to do is scour the internet, and if you spend a little bit of time searching and poking around communities, certain peer groups, you will be able to find these people pretty quickly. The other way you can do it is just ask people in the community, hey, who do you guys know? Who do you guys like? Who do you trust? So you have to do a little bit of real world networking to be able to have people trust you and share their resources with you. People tend to get pretty thrifty when it comes to sharing their resources because they're afraid that the moment in time that they need that person, that resource, that you're going to take them and they're no longer available to them. And that's why they're going to be a little bit cagey and just a little dodgy with you, okay? So if you form a real relationship with people, they're more likely to say, Josh is not a bad guy. I want to work with him. I think he's cool. I don't mind giving him some of my resources, and hopefully you're able to reciprocate. Now, the thing that you don't want to be is just a leech, all right? You don't want to just be a person who jumps into a relationship, is super transparent about what it is that you're trying to do, which is to basically steal all their resources and give nothing back to them. You wouldn't want anybody to do that to you, so don't do that to other people. Now, when you're able to build up a roster of 5, 6, 7 people that you think are going to be like your secret weapons when you get too much work, then you're able to use them. Now, let's say you've got that little list going already. What you want to do is you want to then interview them. You want to talk to them. And their communication style should be very indicative of how they're going to work with you in the near future. So if they're slow to respond, if they give you short, curt emails, this may not be a good fit for you unless you like that kind of style. Now, I think for every kind of company, there's another person who's a good fit. So I don't mean to say that everybody that's got that super aggressive style is bad. If you're super aggressive, you like working with super aggressive people, two peas in a pod, it makes total sense. So what you want to do is you want to start to communicate with them, because what you're trying to imagine in your mind right now, how is it going to be to work with this person moving forward? How is it going to be chatting with these people once, twice a week for the course of 3 months? And if you get a bad feeling, you either address it or you make note of it and say, you know what, they're not going to be my first call. They might be my third call, or I may never call them, okay? Now, then the next way to deal with this is to do a Skype call with them if you can. Because a lot of people, especially if you're working remotely, English is not their first language. And there's a lot that is lost in email. People who even are native speakers don't write great emails, okay? So if you get on Skype, you can talk to them and you could read their body language, the little micro expressions, like what's going on. Are they leaning back? Are they leaning forward? And that way you can get a better sense of who they are and how they communicate. And what I would do is say to them, this is where transparency really helps, okay? And my name is Josh. I'm a brand new developer. I'm starting to onboard some new clients. I want to know what it's like to work with you. I don't know what I don't know. So if you don't mind, just, be a little bit more patient with me. Explain to me how you do what you do, what the pitfalls are. How do I screw this up? How do we make this to be a fruitful and collaborative relationship? What's the best relationship you've ever had? Those kinds of things. You can ask very open-ended questions. And if you guys want more of this, you should tune into our $1 million proposal series, where we went through all the ways to work with a partner. And if you watch that, we go really deep, and that'll give you more answers into what it is you're asking, okay?
Hey, Chris.
That's how you work with remote developers. Yes.
We got a donation from Ben Chadwick.
Yes, Ben Chadwick. Thank you. What's the question?
And he says, how do you show the client the value of strategy before designing a logo process?
The value of strategy. Okay, let me write this down. I think I know Ben Chadwick. Ben, what's up, man? Thanks for your support. He wants to know how you sell the client the value of strategy before you do identity design. That is a really deep question, and I think what a lot of you guys want to know. So let me see how I can figure this thing out so that we don't bore every single person that's not interested in that, okay? Now, let me explain what strategy may or may not mean to each one of us, and I know what it means to me. Now, logo design is the thing that you make. There's a whole process before you actually make something that can be valuable if you do it correctly. And this is where you're going to need to level up quite a few notches here, because these aren't things that I was taught in school. So even if you went to a very prestigious design school, this may not be part of the training that you received. I'm just saying, over 20 years ago when I went to school, this was not part of the curriculum. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to solve a communication, a marketing issue, a user experience issue, a revenue issue, something like that. And the logo is only one part of the solution. You guys need to remember this, okay? Like, if you buy a product with a logo on it, you think it's very valuable because the logo's on there. It sort of is, but not really. It's everything that the brand has done, the brand promise, the user experience, how people connect to that brand. They want to join that tribe of Harley Davidson motorcycle riders, or they want to join that tribe of Nike athletes of performance, genuine athletic performance. They want to join these different tribes. Okay. Then the logo, and in our community, is placed on a pedestal because we think it's the holy thing. This is everything, and it's not. It just happens to be the thing you make, and so there's a lot of kind of self-centered importance based on the logo. So let's rewind here. This whole strategic thing means that you have to get into a lot of things you don't yet know in terms of how to help them increase their business, how to improve the user experience. And user experience can mean in a digital sense, like how you move to the website and get what you want. It could also mean how do you move through the store, or you've got a problem and you want to call customer service and that experience is not great. You want to design the best possible user experience. So these are a whole lot of skills that are really super complex for me to explain on a call like this. But if you do something remotely close to that, and strategy is not just asking them what colors do you like, what brands do you like, because that's not really moving the needle there either. That's just helping you to define the target, of things that the client likes, okay? And if you can actually do this, there's lots of value there. And it starts by asking the client some open-ended questions and letting them know you are not just a logo maker, you're a strategic thinker, and you can do things to help their business grow and flourish. And by the way, I'll give you a nice logo at the end of this, but we're gonna create a lot more touch points. It could be the website, it could be rewriting the copy deck, brand messaging. It could be helping them with a keynote or PowerPoint presentation so they can raise money, like Series A or Series B fundraising. All right, and that's when your value increases dramatically by 10x, by 100x, and that's what I've been able to do. And I hope that I'm able to share with you guys at some point in time. I hope that makes sense, guys. That was super deep. Ben Chadwick set me up with a deep question.
We got another donation.
We do?
Yeah, from
Okay.
Devar.
Okay, hold on to that donation.
Okay.
Let's move on to our live stream audience, and we'll jump back. I believe Jay is up. Jay? Josh, are we good, by the way?
Hey, Chris. My name is Jay, and I'm from Barbados. My question is, how do I guess, critique my own work? Like, just trying to figure out if what I do is good enough. Aside from hearing, well, this is a good design. I love it,
Yeah. So here's the thing, and you guys have heard me say this before. When you have a really clear goal, you have really clear results. A lot of us start the design process without knowing exactly where we're heading. So it could be endless searching, endless revisions, even for us, forget the client, even if you're doing it just for yourself. So what I like to do is to try to define some goal that is less subjective and more objective. So how do you do that? Well, before you start off designing anything, you should sit down and think about what it is that you're trying to say. What are the brand values? What are their beliefs? What are you trying to communicate? What's their ethos? Okay? And you should write these things down. Commit to that. Go ahead.
I do a ton of that, and I remember you stating in one of your videos, I think it was a recent video, A Day in the Life of a Designer, where you said to the guy, if he doesn't learn anything during the research process,
yep,
he isn't doing his job as a designer, a logo designer.
Mm-hmm.
So I do a ton of design. I do, the background of the company, everything else. I think it's just me personally being a bit too hard on myself, or wanting to push more to get to the standards of those that I admire.
Well, I think that's a good thing, but you kind of have to be careful about wanting to achieve perfection. I'm not sure it's attainable. I think the fire that I kind of hear inside of you, the desire to grow, to constantly research and learn, and to build things that are better than what you made yesterday, that's a good thing. But also on the flip side, if you let that say that my work is never good enough, I think that could be debilitating. It could suck the wind out of your sails. And I might need a little bit more information. This might be moving into some kind of like therapy session, and we can do that. But, I see you laughing there. Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like that, right? Here's one thing maybe that I can say to possibly help you here. I want you to look at the world in a very specific way. Like what you allow to enter your mind, you have to be very careful, okay? From the things that you read, the people you surround yourself with, the podcasts you listen to, the things that you watch. Because the world is full of negative people. The world is full of people who say you can't do it, that you're not good enough, that you're not worth it. And the people in that world could even be related to you. It could be a teacher, it could be a sibling, it could be your parent. And you have to be very careful about letting anything into your mind. If I can give you like one big idea today, I want you to be extremely careful to be this amazing gatekeeper. Like, I'm a Game of Thrones guy, you know? So whoever is the baddest knight in the land of the Game of Thrones world, okay, in the Seven Kingdoms, you need to be that person in terms of letting things into your mind. The things I let in my mind are things that make me feel positive, that affirm what it is I'm doing, that help me to grow and help me to solve problems and challenges. Everything else, I just get rid of. I don't have time for that. So even when people throw a negative comment at me, I try to find like what's positive about that and just let that piece through. Okay? Like, here's an example. Matthew, one of our creative directors here, he put together a 24-hour day in the life kind of thing. And somebody commented on YouTube, a super troll, said, "Oh man, that's fake as F," right? That's so fake. And I talked to Matthew. I'm like, God, what is wrong with the trolls, dude? We understand that's an extraordinary day. Not every day you're building supercomputers. Of course, that's not what we're trying to say. And Matthew's like, he's like, I took it as a compliment that what I do today seems like it's unreal to you. Okay, cool. That's how he heard it, and I love that. So he's got his guard up. You know, he knows what to let through, and that's awesome. Okay. So what we want to do is look at this. Like, when you make your logo and you feel like I'm making a lot of progress, it's not where I want it to be just yet. But when I look back, I've made a ton of growth, and that's what I'm going to focus on. And that's going to fuel my fire. That's going to keep me pushing forward. That's going to keep me up at night, keep me motivated, keep me involved in this profession. It's going to drive my passion. Everything else, just get rid of it. Okay? Are we good?
Yeah. I think you touched on the point where, yesterday where you're talking with Melinda about having to prove something to someone, and
Yeah.
I think that happened to me before with a couple of tours. I just always wanted to prove that, well, this is it, and this is better than, what XYZ is doing, and I wanted them to see that.
Yeah. I mean, we have to be very careful in comparing ourselves to other people, and oftentimes we mistake our beginning or our middle with somebody else's ending. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. If you were to compare what you do today with what I do, that's an unfair comparison, because we have to look at where I started and where you're starting. And then if we want to look at it like that, at least it's a fair comparison. Okay? It's often in our culture, and I understand the way we learn things is we try to associate something that we don't know with something that we do, and we make these weird connections. When somebody tells you a story, you'll reply, "Oh, that's just like the Three Little Pigs. That's just like the Boy Who Cried Wolf." You're constantly connecting these things. Now, that's how we understand the world. That's very natural. But the part that can be very negative is to say, "Oh, my work doesn't measure up to something that Michael Beirut designed or Margot Chase or somebody else." And that's going to hurt you. Okay? All right. Zach, we're letting people in. Okay. All right. Jay, I'm going to move on. Sharif, you're going to be up next. We're not going to go to you just yet. And we're going to do a little role play with Sharif, as I promised. But let's go to the questions.
We have a question.
What's the question?
Besides.
Oh, here it is.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
there.
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, I'll just read it.
Okay, cool.
All right. It helps me to know what I'm doing. Okay. Besides starting a blog and having a website, how do you promote yourself as an independent design studio? Okay. There's a lot in here, so leave this title up here for me to just process here. So you're looking to onboard new clients. You're looking to build awareness around what it is that you do. I'd like for us to change the word, one word in particular. How do you promote yourself? Promote yourself seems like I'm going to talk about me. I'm going to talk about my projects and how cool I am, and everything that I do is great, right? I want you to just destroy that for a second. Just get rid of it. Get rid of it. I want you to think of this. How do I create value for the people that want to value me? How do I create value for the people who I want to value me? Okay? What we have to do is stop looking at social media marketing, content marketing, our website and all that kind of stuff as a way to sell ourselves into other people and what they're doing. If we can give them a tool, a resource, anything that we can think of, a white paper, a video, a how-to, an explainer that helps them in their life, they're going to seek us out. Okay, there's different kinds of marketing. There's outbound marketing and there's inbound marketing. We have a whole sales course about this where we go super deep, but let me explain it to you in a nutshell. Okay, outbound marketing is you're going to send emails out. You're going to look for cold leads and try to turn them into warm leads. You're going to do an email blast. You're just constantly pushing information out into the world, and you might even do cold calling. You pick up the phone and you're like, "Hey, John, do you need this service that I provide?" And that's what you're doing. Inbound marketing is you have to create something of value so that people who are searching for it on Google find it and then see what you're doing and it's helpful to them. I would rather you focus on inbound marketing because I'm not hardwired personally, and I think a lot of creative people are not that A-type, alpha-type sales, just talking to people and hitting the pavement and okay with rejection. That's for a very special kind of person. I'm not that kind of person, okay? So I think what we want to do is try to create something that's valuable for other people. So if you're in the web design business, let's just focus on that for a second. If you're doing web design, what would be valuable for somebody who's looking for a web design firm? Maybe you have some kind of web design audit as a service that you provide to people where you can look at their analytics and see if they're converting. You can make some recommendations. You can do best practices. You can do a study of websites that are high performing versus low performing so that when people become informed, they're going to look at you like the thought leader, like an expert, and they're going to seek you out. And that's really important. So if you're hiding in your studio space and you're never doing anything to let anybody know what you're doing, that makes it very difficult for people who value you to find you. And oftentimes you'll sit here and think this, not you specifically, but you guys, okay? You'll think this, like, why didn't they hire me? Because I could have done a much better job. That logo is not very good. That website refresh wasn't very good. The one big key difference between you and them is that they were able to be found and you weren't. That's a big difference. Okay? All right. Let's move on. We good? We're good. All right. Sharif, what's good in your hood?
Hey, Chris. I'm Sharif. I'm from Cairo, Egypt. And I currently charge $500 for a logo. And I've only started doing that 2 jobs ago.
Okay.
And I've got... actually, 1 job ago, let's say 1 job ago, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I've got a lot of pushback when I did that, so I want to charge more now. So I don't know how to respond to the pushback since the average is quite lower than actually 500.
Okay. And are you selling to a local client or an international client?
A local client.
Okay. I don't know what the local economy is, but what do you think people can afford in the local market or what they're willing to pay as fair market value for the work that you do?
They would be willing to pay, they can afford to pay as much as I want to charge, but it's just that the amount other people, other graphic designers are charging is much lower, so they feel that they can just, get the same thing for less.
Okay. What do you think the difference is between what you do and the people who charge less than you?
I don't know. The way I'd like to think that my work is better, but the way the client sees it, I position myself as perhaps like I've been in the business for a while. I've done this for a while, and the client I've charged 500 was very happy with the work and actually came to me with another wants more work now.
Okay.
So I feel like when I do charge what I feel like charging, I can deliver on that.
Okay. What you need to do is you need to differentiate yourself from the people who charge much lower prices than you. You can do that in a number of ways. Let me go through this. Now, you look like a super young guy, so when you say I have a lot of experience, I'm like thinking, oh, come on, man. Now, either Mother Nature has been very kind to you. Okay, Mother Nature has been very kind to you. You have good genetics. I get it. How old are you, man?
I'm 22.
Oh my God, you're the ripe old age of 22. Super experienced Sharif from Cairo, Egypt. Yeah, you look young because you know what? You are freaking young. Let's just be real about that. Okay, you are super duper young. This is a kid. All right, I've been running my company longer than you've been alive. Okay, I need you to process that a little bit. I don't want to say I could be your father, but I'm not going to go there. All right. So saying that you're super experienced, that's fine. Let's pretend you're like 34. Okay. Let's just pretend like you truly do have experience and you've seen many wars and now you want to charge more money. I get it. All right. Let's go through this. Okay. How can you differentiate yourself from people who charge less than you? Give me some ideas.
Okay, the way I do it now is most of the people here, most graphic designers.
Give me short answers. Short answers.
Okay, a
Bullet
client
point.
approaches them and asks for a solution, and they just provide it immediately. The way I do it is I try to diagnose the problem first with the client.
Okay.
And I feel they can see the value in that.
Okay. What else?
That's it. So, and I think that my work is better than the average.
Well, I can line a bunch of other 23-year-old, 22-year-olds in the room, and they're gonna tell me the exact same thing. They're like, forget about Sharif. My work is much better. Okay. So anything else?
They can see that my work, like when I show, like the client comes and they can tell that they like my work. They tell me I like your work. I want you to do this for me, but it's more expensive than it's way too expensive for me.
Okay.
So
Can you guys hear what he's saying? Everybody, he just said the clients really think that my work is great, but you're too expensive. That's like saying you're really a handsome guy, but I'm not interested in dating you.
Well, yeah. That's,
okay. You love my work when you agree to pay the price I charge. That's how I know that you really love it. Okay? Because you have to remember, like, people are polite. And people who aren't creative think everything is great. All right? So here's how you are going to differentiate yourself, and then we're going to get into the role play as promised. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Oh, okay. You can differentiate yourself from others by working with bigger clients than they've worked with. All right? So if you worked with Nike, with Sony, with Xbox, with Adidas, whoever, what you've got is social proof. I want you guys to write this down. Social proof. It's one of the principles of influence by Robert Cialdini. Social proof. We feel safer working with you because people that we look up to and respect have worked with you, and that makes me feel more comfortable spending more money with you. Right?
Okay.
Have you been to our website? Have you been to the Blind website? Just out of curiosity? Okay. You see the brands we work with?
Yep.
Okay. So right now, I can outcompete you without even saying a single word because the clients are going to say, well, my gosh, they must be worth it because all these big brands have worked with them.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one thing that I want you to think about. Okay. So you need social proof. Now, a lot of you guys are like, oh, well, if I had Nike, why would I be calling you right now on the Skype call? Why would I be doing that? This is a kind of ridiculous solution. It's like saying you want me to be 6'5" and I can't be. There's other ways to get social proof. Social proof, we're going to go down the next level. We need testimonials from your clients who love you, who enjoyed the experience and thought it was wonderful. We need those people. Are they on your site today?
No, they're not.
Well, okay, there's another problem there. I'm just writing down all your problems.
Okay. I'm writing
Okay.
them down too.
And you said, well, the client that I charge $500 to, they love it. They're giving me more work. Well, get that client to say something nice about you and put it on your site.
Okay.
So that's another way you get social proof.
Can I say something?
You can say anything you want, man.
That's okay. Usually when I visit a website with a graphic designer, like a graphic designer's website, and they have a testimonial of a random guy, not Nike, or I feel it's a bit cheesy, and I don't really trust that. I don't feel like I trust that. If I go, like, on your website and you're saying like I don't know, this John Doe.
Hey, that's my easy there. That's my brother. All right. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Sorry.
Go easy there. Go easy there, John Doe. Where's the dome? No, okay.
Not that Doe.
Yeah, not that Doe. John Smith. You're talking about John Smith. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're saying that anybody can manufacture a quote from somebody. So here's how you make it have a little bit more weight. It's going to say, Sharif's an amazing designer. He helped us do XYZ. He delivered exactly great customer experience. My name is John Smith. I'm the CEO of biotech.com, whatever it is. So put in their title. So it's not some schmuck. It's not my auntie, you know? It doesn't, you have to give them some weight, okay? So be selective. Pick the right people. You don't have to have everybody that's ever said something nice about you. Put it in there. Okay. Now you see
Okay, yeah.
when your own reaction is when I go on a site and it's written by some little rinky-dink thing, I don't trust them. It's cheesy in your words. Okay. What do you think people are looking at when they come to your site? Small brands, no testimonials, no social proof.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So why would I pay you more than the next guy? I have no reason to.
Yeah.
Next, what's another form of social proof? Do you know?
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. It's not rhetorical.
I don't know, perhaps a certain brand that I've done work for performing, like if someone sees that I've done work for a local brand and they know of this local brand,
Yeah.
perhaps they like, and that it's performing well, they would like that, I guess.
I don't even know what you just said. What did you say?
If there's a local brand that I've done work for and people see that on my website and they know that this local brand has been doing well lately,
Okay.
would that help? Or?
Well, I'm going to tell you how to say that in a different language. You can show proof of the impact that you've had in terms of the design affecting their business.
Okay.
Some ways that you can do this is you can show before and after. That's a simple one. Like, this is how ugly it was before. This is what I was able to make out of it. And if it's drastically different, people are like, wow, that's really good. You can show that their social following engagement went up 376% because you started handling their social media posts. You show evidence. People are looking for proof, okay, all the time. Whether it's big brands, a testimonial from somebody that seems credible, evidence, which we're talking about right now, and awards. If your work is good enough to be recognized by an international body, you probably could put that on there. I've won X statue trophy. I've won this, won that. My work has been recognized. Okay?
First, I have a question.
Hold on.
about this.
Okay. Give me a second.
All right.
I've been published. Okay? I'm in this book. I'm in the Best Logos of the World Volume 4. I'm in this magazine as the most creative guy in Cairo at 22. Top 30 under 30 in Cairo. You see what I'm saying? What do you got? You got any of these things?
Nope.
Well, okay, there goes your social proof. Aaron, what's your question? Fire away, Aaron.
So social.
Hold on. Aaron?
No, I was just gonna ask for Sharif. I mean, you threw a bunch of different things at him, right?
Yeah, Sharif can't hear you, so what's your question?
So which one do you think, like, if you had to pick just one thing to focus on, which one should it be?
One thing of what?
I mean, of these social proof things to try to.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which
So
one should you focus on?
Aaron wants to ask you a question, Sharif. He says, if you could just pick one of these things to focus on, which one would you pick?
Probably the one. I'd say the testimonials. I feel like.
Oh, the cheesy testimonials? You'll pick that?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I feel like maybe I could think of a way not to make them cheesy.
Yeah. You should pick a good typeface that will be less cheesy.
Sure, yeah. I was thinking Comic Sans, but I don't know now.
No, you should go with papyrus.
Yeah,
Okay.
Papyrus, because I'm in Cairo. Yeah.
Yeah, you see? All right, sorry.
That's what we just use every day here.
Right. I don't like comic books, so I use Comic Sans.
I'm actually on my camera right now.
Okay. All right. So, all of you guys that are tuning in, if you want to charge more, get the social proof game going here. Get it. Now, let me make sure it's in focus. There it is. Get your social proof game going. All right. Have testimonials, awards, proof that you've made a difference. Everybody says, "Oh, my logo's worth so much." Well, prove it. Show before and after. Show results. Have evidence, data. Okay. Have qualitative and quantitative data to support it. Show that you've been published and recognized by lots of people who are much smarter and better than everybody else. That's how you differentiate yourself. Okay? All right. Now that we've learned that you're at the ripe old age of 22 and you've got tons of experience, let's get into role play. Well, you'll hear the end of it from me, but not until we hang up. All right, so here we go.
Okay.
Let's do some little role play here, okay? We'll try. Okay. So a client's coming to you. You want to charge them $500, and they're just not going to agree. They're just saying you're cheaper. We have cheaper options, right?
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. You want me to be the client, or you want me to be you and you be the client? How do you want to do this in role play?
well, now that you know my situation and that I lack social proof, maybe I should be the client.
Okay, you be the client. So let's do
Okay.
split screen, Aaron. Let's get into the rumble in the jungle. Here we go. All right. So you're the client, and we'll kick it off. All right. So
Okay.
ask me a price question. I'll tell you the price, and then you could be the client. I really want you to be the client. I don't want you to be my
Okay.
friend. Okay. I don't want you to be a sympathetic, creative person. Go ahead.
Sure.
Here we go.
Definitely.
Live audience and audience tuning in on the feeds. Get ready. You guys got your knives out? This is there's no gloves here. Here we go. Let's do it. Ask me a money
okay.
question. Go ahead.
So ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Sharif. So now we need a logo for this new thing we're doing. So how much do you think you can charge us for that?
Okay, well, based on our conversation and me analyzing your business and communications and marketing goals, I'm thinking it's probably going to be anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000.
Oh, that's just crazy. That's like last month we did some work with another graphic designer, and he charged us like $200.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$200.
I mean,
Wow,
this is
you got a really good
way
deal. You got a really good deal, Mr. John Smith.
Okay.
I'm just curious though, if it worked out so well, why are we talking?
He didn't deliver
Oh.
on the deadline immediately. He was a little late, but we like the work after all, I guess.
Okay, so you're okay with missing deadlines. How much did that cost you in terms of opportunity when a deadline was missed? Have you thought about that?
Perhaps, but I guess like I'd be willing to pay a bit more than 200 to get people to submit on deadlines, but not 10 times that.
Okay, well let's evaluate this. I don't want to let this go just for 1 second, okay? You're a successful entrepreneur. How much is your time worth? When you're not focusing on your business, when you're not doing business development, when you're not managing your operations, what is that costing you? I have to imagine it's probably costing you in excess of $500 an hour. Am I correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so
But
yeah?
we've done more work with other graphic designers who've charged around the 200 mark, and not all of them missed deadlines. So
That is
I
great.
don't want you to just sell me that you'll submit on the deadline.
Okay.
Before the deadline.
I'm not trying to sell you anything, Mr. John Smith.
Okay.
I assume that you and I are talking because you're looking for a better solution than what you are currently getting, either in design quality, in professionalism, in customer experience, or just basic business practices of saying what you're going to do and then doing what you're going to say. And that's what I do. What my clients come to me for isn't necessarily for the logo, which I think you can get lots of that stuff done. I'm not going to argue that. Okay. And you can pay any kind of price from $5 on a site like Fiverr on up to a couple $100,000 if you hire an international branding firm. What I think I'm going to give to you is something that's on par with what international standards are at a much more affordable price. Because you know what? I'm a young guy. I'm fairly new at this. I only have a couple years of experience, but I think I can give you guys an amazing customer experience and to give you some really smart solutions. But to do that, I do need to be in that range of $1,000 to $2,000. And if that's not a good fit for you, I totally understand. Use the options that you have available to you, and I will continue doing what I need to do. But if things should change on your end, if you should get frustrated, if you should start to feel like you're spending too much time managing people or getting subpar work or missing deadlines that cost you real money, please do reach out. I will be here.
Listen, Sharif, we really do like your work, and we know that
I appreciate that.
But then you can think about like how if you help us this time, perhaps we can have more business for you later if you give us a better price than what you're asking now. How does that sound?
It sounds horrible. How many times have you gone in to buy something where the guy gives you as a vendor, when you sell something to one of your clients, where somebody says, I'll give you half of what you're worth, and if I like it, I'll come back and give you something more, maybe. Would you do that deal?
No, it doesn't sound.
It doesn't sound good, right?
Yeah.
I don't like. I like to like.
But we're an established business, and we're always working with graphic designers, and you know that. So, if we're happy with you, we'll definitely. You know that we.
I sure hope so.
Pay you back.
I sure hope so. Most of my clients are repeat customers of mine because I give them what they need. I totally do, and that should just be part of a working relationship. Okay, so
All right.
And I like that you're an established business, so you know better than I do what the value of the work is and what happens when we don't deliver. You know what's at stake, and you have the resources. Let me ask you this one question before I say goodbye. What's the maximum amount of money that you're willing to spend on this?
I'd say perhaps like around 500, 600.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
That'll be.
I'll tell you what. I appreciate you accommodating me. You came in saying it's a $200 thing, and I was saying $1,000 to $2,000. I see the gesture you're making, and I want to meet you somewhere in the middle here. Let me just think about this for a second. So if we did something for, say, $750, would you be okay with that?
Sure. Yeah, I need to think about it, but because
take your time.
Double than the initial budget we had in mind. But yeah, we'll think about it and we'll get to you.
Okay, let me know. Okay, I'm making this concession. I see that you want to work with me, and I appreciate it. And I'm glad you like my work. For this time, for the first time, I'm willing to do it for $750. But I also want to just be very clear and state this: that should you want to work with me in the future and you do like the work, I have to charge you where I normally charge, which is probably somewhere between $1,000 to $2,000. Okay.
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 Good.
Thanks a lot.
Let's hope we start working together soon.
All right. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Okay. So we're done. So you've now just contemplated spending $750, and you just told me to go out and get $500.
Yeah.
Right. So I still even have room to go a little bit lower.
Yeah.
But I don't want to negotiate at my final price. You guys understand that? I don't want to negotiate at $500 because I'm going to get dragged down. I'd have to then meet him at $400 or $350. There's no way I'm going to do that. Okay?
Could I ask a quick question?
Yeah, you can ask a quick question and then we're going to move on because I spent a lot of time with you.
If I know that already my final price is a bit high, if I ask for way more, wouldn't that provoke a very allergic reaction almost? Like, oh no, this is just crazy out
right.
of what we...
Right, let's try that. Give me a crazy reaction. I charge between $5,000 to $10,000 to do a logo. Give me a crazy reaction.
I don't know. Okay,
go ahead, throw a crazy reaction at me.
Even within our budget, this is crazy outside of our budget. We were hoping to spend
I know.
$200. So
I know, it's totally crazy, right? It's totally crazy. But I'm worth it. I'm totally worth it. You have to make that determination if you want to spend $200 and roll the dice. Are you a gambler?
No, I'm not. I'm a business.
Me neither. Me neither. That's why I pay for certain kind of assurances. Right? Like you don't want to buy a cheap stroller for your child, right? Because if something happens, it breaks and your kid falls on the concrete. That's not a good thing. You also don't want to put your family on a discount bus. You don't want to go to a discount laser eye cert like a LASIK surgeon. You don't want to buy the cheapest option. You only have two eyes. You have a business. You have a business to run. I respect that. My price is crazy until you start to compare it to people who charge a lot more than me for the same kind of work. I think I'm a bargain. So if you want to be crazy like a fox, let's do work together. Otherwise, I totally understand.
Okay, awesome.
You okay?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you very much, Chris. I really
you're
appreciate
welcome.
this.
Okay. Do we have a question coming from the internet?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Hey, Chris, we got a question from Twitch of all places.
I can't really hear you that clearly. Sean, are you on the Twitch? Are we broadcasting to Twitch?
We are broadcasting to Twitch, and we got a question.
Get the mic closer to him.
Any better?
Nope.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah?
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
Okay.
What's your question?
Agnes from Twitch asks, she has long-term clients, and she's wondering how to prepare them for new prices. She's very worried that she doesn't want to lose them introducing new prices to them, so she's wondering how would you go about that.
I got it. John, how many people are watching on Twitch?
5 right now.
We have 5. We have 5
million
people on the Twitch audience. Okay, first of all, thanks for tuning in to us on Twitch. We're going to be doing some original content on Twitch, so thanks for asking that question. I'll answer it right now. It's super easy. It's tough when there's a relationship that's already built. They're expecting to pay a certain amount of money for the things that you do. So what you have to do is to call up your client and say, "Client, I appreciate all of your business and loyalty over the years or months or weeks, whatever it is. I just have to let you know I've been growing my practice. I can no longer service you for that price. And now I'm charging all new clients $1,000 an hour. But for you, since you've been such a loyal customer to me, I'm willing to do it at a discounted rate to continue the relationship because I'm so grateful for it for $700 an hour. Let me know, okay? That's it. We got it? Next question on you, or is that it?
There's one here.
All right, here we go. Here's another question. And live stream people, I'm gonna let you guys go bananas now. We're gonna go to the grid view, and we can just talk about whatever because I need to get out of here in 10 minutes, all right? So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna hide the participants. Let me close that. Give me 1 second, buddy. Close. All right, let me make this full screen. Sit tight. Boom, full screen. Okay. Okay, this is going to be the last question that's come in from YouTube, and I apologize if you're tuning into this later on Facebook. I'm sorry, it didn't work out. So here's the question from YouTube. How do you transition from a solo freelancer? Well, that's kind of a redundant term. Is there a multi-freelancer? Of course there isn't. Sound effect? No, okay. To bring in other designers and working collaboratively, specifically splitting up work, pay, responsibility, skills. How do you transition from solo to bring other designers and working collaboratively? Oh, okay. I get it. So here's the question for those people. If you're working and you want to team up with other creatives, either an illustrator, a developer, something like that, how do you work out work, responsibilities, and money, all that kind of stuff? This seems trickier than it is. Whoever is the one who brings on the client should get the lion's share of the money. They're responsible and they need to manage the team, period. That's how I look at it. When everybody's responsible, nobody's responsible, okay? So this is really important. So if I bring in the client, I should expect my two buddies who are going to do illustration and web development to have a rate that I can afford so that I can make money. So if there's $10,000 here, I probably at most am going to pay out of pocket $3,000 to the two buddies. And I would expect the same. So if they brought in a client, $10,000 worth of business, that they're able to pay us some smaller amount so that we can do our work. So what you want to do is make sure that you pay your friends fairly, not client prices, but fair prices so that they can do the work, so they can feel good about doing the work, and so they have some skin in the game. Because if you pay them too little, when it gets around 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, they just disappear on you and the client calls at 8:30, you're kind of screwed. Okay, so try to have these conversations up front and be very open. There's no mystery to my partners or friends what the amount of money is coming in, and I will deal with them. And I also want them to know, should the roles be different, like if the developer gets a client and I'm the designer, I would charge him a little bit less than I would my normal clients because I'm working through another vendor. I'm a subcontractor in this case, and you can't charge the same prices as you would client direct. I think that's a pretty basic fundamental concept that you guys already understand. Okay, so just have open dialogue about this. Whoever brings in the client is responsible, should get the lion's share of the profit, and that's it. Okay, we're good with that? Okay, all you all on live stream, you guys can all unmute yourself unless you are in a super crazy loud room. Does anybody want to talk about anything specifically about the things we've already brought up? Go ahead. Wait, raise your hand digitally. No, digitally. Whoever can do it digitally. Put your hand down, Philip. I just talked to you. Okay, there we go. There's two people right there. See, if you guys do it digitally, so this would be Jesus Corona. Hopefully I said that right. Jesus, what's good in the hood? What do you want to say? I can't hear you, buddy. Unmute yourself. I'll unmute you. Hold on. How do I do that? No, your audio. Oh, Jesus, I cannot hear you, man. All right. Jesus is out. Then I'm going to now go to, I don't know how to say your name. I think it's Sulaiman.
Yeah, it's Sulaiman.
Sulaiman. Okay.
Yeah.
What's up?
I'm cool. I'm from the Gambia, West Africa, where clients pay really low for logo design projects. Yeah. So I was thinking to include something in my logos. I'm like to provide a package for them so that I could charge them more. So what do you think I could provide for them when I'm making logos for them?
Oh, okay. This is a great question. Okay. So the logo is the thing that you craft. It's like the Nike swoosh. I get that. Okay, cool. You can put together a logo usage guideline, a logo Bible, whatever you want to call it. Okay. That you can charge a little bit more for that. For that, you're going to include correct and incorrect usages of the logo. You're going to include color palette, secondary color palette, primary, secondary, and tertiary typefaces to use, and that should be good enough for that. Applications is where you can make a lot more money if you are willing to do it. So typically speaking, we have an identity package, which we give them 3 pieces of collateral, a letterhead, maybe a mailing label or an email signature, something like that, or business card. So we give them 3 pieces and we charge a price for that. You can do an email blast template. Not hard for you guys to do. You can go into MailChimp, you can design something that's valuable to them because most companies now communicate via email blasts to their customers. You can charge them to do packaging, t-shirts, signage. You can charge them to do keynote presentations, to do PowerPoint presentations. Lots and lots of things you can do incorporating all that stuff. Now, the good news is this, is you get to charge more, make more money, but the case study that you're able to build will look much, much better, right? It's just not just a logo. And we've seen these on Behance and Dribble and all those kind of websites where it's just a logo sheet and there's like 50 of them. To me, that's cool to look at, but it diminishes the work of the artist and the designer. So if you show it like on an airplane, on a bus board, if you show it as a uniform, it just all of a sudden makes the logo and the identity work you've done seem much bigger and more substantial. Okay? All right, man. So back to this view. Okay, who else can digitally raise their hand and ask a question with a mic? Digitally raise your hand, dude. You got to figure out that function. There we go. Gurpreet?
Yeah.
You were on before, but okay, go.
Just a quick question. How
Yes.
do I encourage companies to, following on from your last question, how do I encourage companies to take on sort of like, what's it called? Letterheads and all that sort of marketing collateral and stuff.
How do you encourage them to do that?
Yeah.
Well,
some are just like, oh, well, I've got the logo, I can do it myself.
yeah. And most of the clients that I work with know that there are limitations to what they can do. Now, I want to tell you guys this thing, okay? I like to work with people who are super successful for obvious reasons. But how do I define success? People who understand the value of their time, that their time is better spent focusing on running their business, dealing with operations, those kinds of things, than it is to sit around and muck around with the work. People who are very hands-on and anal retentive and think they're best at everything, I try not to work with those clients for that reason. I mean, we got to assume if I just give you the logo, they don't know what to do with it. They're going to put it on something that's going to look horrible, and that's up to them. I don't think you can convince them of that. It's a mindset of the person coming in to talk to you, okay? I want to jump to Rochelle, I believe. Rochelle, what's good? You had your hand raised for half a second.
Hello.
Okay, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Great.
I have a question regarding experience.
Okay. Ask.
What really counts as experience? Say, like I worked for like different companies for a few years and I've only been running my business for a year. So what's really, and I've been in school for a few years. So what counts as experience for clients?
Has a client ever asked you how much experience do you have?
Yes, I have.
What's the context?
I guess I just wanted to know how long I've been designing for.
Okay, how long have you been designing for?
Since 2012, 5 years.
Okay, you just say I've been designing for 5 years.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I feel like they also ask like, oh, how long have you been running a business? I was like, well, I haven't been doing it for very long, but I've been designing for longer.
How long have you been running your business?
A year.
Why don't you just say that? I don't want you to apologize. I don't want you to feel sheepish about saying, how tall are you?
5'5". 5'5".
You're 5'5". Are you ashamed that you're 5'5"?
No, of course not.
Why would you be ashamed of you've been studying and doing design for 5 years and been in business for 1?
I'm not sure. I guess I just feel like clients expect like you should be in business for.
You know what this is? I'm not going to go into a deep one on this, and Molly's nodding her head. It's going to get deep in a second, but we're not going to go there because we only have. No. Let me just say this, okay? Do you have a camera?
No, it's not working right now.
Yeah, that's a good excuse. Okay, like I believe you. All right, you're not camera ready at the moment. I get it. Fine. Okay. Now I'm going to say this, okay? Let me take a deep breath before I say it.
Uh-oh.
Okay. No. It's not like that. I think in your mind, you think the client sees you as somebody who you're not. That they're looking at you like you're the world's best designer, that you've been in business for decades and you've got all this wonderful design experience. So when you look at yourself, you're like, I've only been out of school for 5 years. I've only been in business for 1 year. It feels like you don't measure up to this imaginary thing that they see. And the reality of it is this, it's a mind game that you're playing against yourself, and it's going to put you at a very disadvantageous position. Okay? Period. I just want you to think about that for a second. they already see you for who you are. They see, where's that guy, Sharif? They see Sharif as a 23-year-old kid. If he goes in there thinking, oh my God, they want a 35-year-old man, he's going to act really squirrely. He's going to be very insecure. Okay? Now, I got to tell you guys this, and I know it's easy for me to say and harder for you guys to really kind of take a grab of and start to live it this way. But why do you care what other people think? We give strangers, people that we even are enemies, people who don't care anything about us, so much power over us. Like, I wonder if they think my work is any good. I wonder if they think I'm too expensive, I'm worth it at all. Why do you care? I mean, I want you to say to yourself, I don't care. I don't care. I just don't care what you have to say. I don't care if you think I'm good. I don't care if you think I'm bad. I am what I am. I'm 5'5". I've been in business for 5 years. I'm sorry, I've been in business for 1 year and I've studied design. I've been a practicing designer for 5 years. If you like me, great, let's do business. If you don't like me, I'm sorry, I can't change that about it. Those are your expectations. That's your issue and not mine. That's it. It's like when you're trying to be somebody who you're not, it drains your confidence. It makes you feel insecure, okay? So let's stop doing that to ourselves. And creative people are horribly susceptible to this kind of negative self-talk. They keep beating themselves up in their own mind. Right? I am who I am. Right? And I strive to be better every single day. I can't change anything about who I am and my history. I can only change how I am moving forward. And I got to stop thinking of myself as less than or comparing myself to some imaginary version of myself. And I'd love to tell you this dating story about Aaron, but I think we're almost out of time. And I forgot to tell you something, and I need to talk about this before we wrap up, okay? Live stream audience, hang in there for 1 second. You're going to love the Aaron dating story, but I'm not going to tell it to you this time. Sorry.
Oh, it sucks too bad.
It's too bad. Like, he's going to end the broadcast. You guys get ready to get us out, but we're not there yet. Like, don't get premature on me, okay? Here we go. I had promised I was going to talk about this thing, and I'm going to do it right now. How do you get your first logo assignment? Everybody's thinking about it. It's this mysterious thing. You got to do marketing and you got to build a website. No, you don't. Like I said to you before, there's a lot more people in your life that need a logo than you think. Anybody that's starting a business, a personal one, a personal brand, maybe they're a coach, maybe they're starting a new restaurant, an enterprise, maybe they're launching an app and they're just two dudes in a garage or two girls in a garage. That's what they're doing. And you can say, look, I can help you do this. And for that, I need to charge you $300. There's maybe a friend who's a photographer, an illustrator, an architect, an industrial designer, an attorney, a dentist, a doctor, an engineer. Somebody out there is starting a business and they need your help. They're in your immediate circle of friends and family, and they're maybe just one tier out from that. All you have to do is approach them and ask them, oh, it's very interesting. Tell me more about yourself. What are you doing? My goodness, you're starting a new business. Just by chance, do you already have a logo designed for your business? Do you have a name yet? Oh, maybe I can help you. I'm not telling you I'm super experienced, but I believe I can do a really good job for you. And at the price in which you can pay me right now, it's very low risk. That's it, you guys. It's not super complicated, okay? There are people in your life. There are people on the internet right now, I'm sure, in this live stream today, that if you were to approach them, the developers, the illustrators, the architects, or whoever else, they need some work done from you right now. But you got to be willing to ask, okay? Build some rapport, and then ask. That's it. Okay, I think we're going to wrap up the show, you guys, and I have to end because we're shooting with Melinda later today. So we got to get out of here. We got to get off the air. And I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. Let's get us out of here. Let's roll the music, cue the titles, and see you guys next time.